Hey everybody, welcome back to Tabletop Nerdcast. I'm Mike and I'm going to be your GM this evening as we are dropping a whole lot of expletive deleteds here at the table before we even start. We're in rare form this evening, so I expect a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
With that said, welcome back to Galactic Youth, our Star Wars campaign. And you're new here, but you have not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button, hit the like on the video, and go ahead and ring the bell. That way you can see anytime we've got anything set up. Percy's pointing at all kinds of stuff that I don't know if he really knows where it's located at on the screen.
Well,
we're going to put some stuff above his head, and it'll be somewhere around here.
I can see myself on the screen over there, and I know where the subscribe button is on YouTube, and the bell is right next to it. We're good.
See, but at the end of the video, we put up this one icon that really is a subscribe button. It goes right in the center of the screen.
Perfect.
So can you do this one for me? All right. Got it.
Click here.
Golden.
Hey, man.
All right.
I don't know if people want to subscrib to me, though.
I'm pretty sure they don't. At this point.
What would that look
My
like?
wife barely does.
But she's kind of stuck with you at this point.
At this point,
She
yes.
did marry you. All right, so I'm going to start my timer now. Okay. So last time on Galactic Youth,
To have power and do nothing is the greatest crime.
Get this off my neck.
I think you like pain a little too much.
so if you don't know what my players are talking about, they're talking about last session. Go back and check it out.
Watch it.
And we're going to pick back up right where we left off. So at the very end of last session, Antinous was standing outside of your cell and had opened the door and said that there was much to talk about and called you a Padawan. And quickly led you off from the cell, closing it behind you.
Yep.
That's where we're going to resume.
Woo.
You're escorted from the cell and down to the room that you've become very familiar with. Not a word is spoken while you're in transit, but once the door is shut behind you, Antinous turns to face you, his eyes almost piercing through you with a very blank expression. The Force keeps pulling me back to you. Unlike many others who have walked through these doors, none have turned out quite as promising as you at this point. Or maybe it is as receptive to my methods as you are. Most break down, but yet you seem to be very stoic in our conversations. Why is that? Is it an eagerness to learn? Is it a desire to please others? Or is it simply because you think it's in your best interest and course of action so that you can get out of here?
Can you survive without any of those emotions?
Yes. Yes, you can.
But
I think in your case, it's because of your group. Your friends.
Please, hold on. Are you telling me that you think that the buffoon that you had me tied to when we arrived, you think that we've become friends?
It's quite obvious that you've become friends.
I don't think that that's obvious. I think that
You
similarly...
seem to trust them.
I seem to trust you as well, yes.
No. I don't take what we have as trust yet.
Perhaps.
I guess we shouldn't toy around with this too much longer. I know about your group's plans. The escape plans that you have been working together and working through.
I see.
You know, could very easily thwart them. But I find myself in a very unique position. One that I believe might be able to benefit both of us.
Please continue. Also, while you're at it, tell me the plan. This is not Aaron, but Percy. Requesting wisdom on the plan.
Requesting wisdom on the plan. All right. So I will elaborate on the plan here momentarily.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I more want to know what he knows about the plan, but yeah.
Let's just say I could ensure your escape either through the lower tunnels or through the roof. Rick farted.
Yes.
Anyway.
I think my phone farted.
Was it data comms?
Pretty much. But I do know that you have acquired, or your little red-headed friend has acquired, quite a bit of, well, a hodgepodge collection of items.
So you are friends with Thrust then?
Am I friends with Thros? Thros is of no use to me. Thros is just a mere pawn.
But he has told you all of the information.
Thros has not told me anything.
Then how have you known?
How did I know that you were dreaming what you were dreaming, young Padawan?
Because the Force told you, but you are expecting me to believe that you see all things at all times?
Not all
and
things.
Hear all things at all times?
Not all things at all times. Just those that can affect me.
I see. So you listen through my ears.
But of course, isn't that the way that it should work? Should I or should I not know what is going on with those that I am talking to?
Well, you sound a little clingy, but okay.
Good one. I like that one.
Get rid of that static cling.
But I suppose if our relationship is to advance, I must adhere to your requests.
You don't have to. I could kill you now.
But then our relationship does not progress unless you, like, kill me and absorb me. That would be cool.
But that would not be Star Wars. That would be the Borg. Anyway.
Resistance is futile.
This is what it's going to be like all night, people. All right.
Crypticism leaves space for your players to make crap up.
Right, exactly. This opportunity.
Do we need space?
I don't know why I looked at my microphone. My camera's over there. It's because I'm an idiot.
Nervous habit. All right. And Star Wars.
Space.
This is what happens when we don't record for 3 weeks.
Pretty much, yeah. That's
We
what
all
happens.
forget what's going on.
What?
We forget etiquette.
Who am I?
All right. Getting back to this, Anantinus looks back at you and says, "This opportunity, one can say, is the will of the Force that lies before us, as it was the will of the Force for the Emperor to have fallen. Now,
Wait, so you are confirming, in fact, that the Emperor has fallen?
the Emperor has fallen."
My work here is done.
Yes, but
Now-
can he get up?
He also failed to bring peace to this galaxy,
Yes, he did.
because he nurtured a fear in man to hate those that are not like them. A prejudice. He allowed these men and these humans to push aliens to second-class citizens.
And you would not have done this.
Why would I? I believe in the way of the Force.
Well, also, you're not human.
And Tennis is human.
I thought he was Miralaka.
No, he's human.
Okay. Not bad.
But thank you for trying to study. Okay, so let me see where the heck I was at now. All right. He allowed this bigoted hatred of man to influence not only his military, but his intelligence forces. Because of this, he forced more support to the rebels than they should have ever received, thus creating his own problem. His arrogance created his own
So you
problem.
are saying that if you're nice to people, they don't need to rebel.
There is a shocker.
It's so interesting that we are imprisoned as children, not having committed any crimes, that you would have this philosophy.
Do I run this prison?
You seem to have more pull than anyone else, even the generals that keep the interrogated terrorists at bay.
Well, that may be the influence. An influence that I think kind of seems to intrigue you, does it not?
Intrigue, Yes, impress, not so much. I'm not impressed by bullies of any regard.
Well, what I'm speaking of right now, we could change the way that the current empire has worked. I believe you have a very unique ability, for the Force manifests itself in different ways in different people. I myself have the ability to see and communicate with those who I know. But from what I've felt in your visions, it seems you have the ability to see more into not just the future, but as the past as well.
Perhaps.
Have you been able to make heads or tails of your dreams yet?
I saw the visage of the Emperor. He was speaking to a young man that I did not recognize. He was speaking to a Jedi, who I believed to be, for the most part, extinct.
The Jedi are extinct. Except for the claim of one, I believe, that is running around the galaxy now, but he won't be around for very long.
You hope.
We will make sure that he is not along for very long.
Well, now you're showing fear toward another person.
Oh, I don't fear him. I respect him greatly. For whoever has the power to dethrone the Emperor has given me a golden opportunity.
The Emperor also said he respected other races.
Well,
You don't sound much different than our Emperor. You're simply spouting it from a different hole.
spouting it from a different hole.
What a way with words.
That's when you get bad barbecue.
Or Taco Bell.
Definitely.
Oh, Taco Bell. Okay.
Speaking of burritos, look for our D&D campaign.
Get the new cup.
Alrighty then. Yeah, we're going to take a break early tonight now. I'm kidding. Okay.
What you're
The
proposing?
Jedi. No, the Jedi, they hold themselves in high regard. Their arrogance is rivaling that of the Emperor. Do I believe that if the Jedi were to come back into power that we would have peace? No, I don't. Because I believe that the Jedi is the opposite side of what the Emperor represented. Two halves. And without one, you can't have the other. But if you're somewhere in the middle, you receive balance.
And
in balance becomes power.
And you seek this for yourself, for just the betterment of the galaxy.
For the betterment of all. Would it not be beneficial for us to teach others this balance? To cooperate? To bring forth a brand new non-empire, a new galaxy? Unfold it the way it needs to be brought, where everyone is equal.
Sure. So, what do I have to do?
Well, simply put, you do require some training to understand how to control your newfound powers.
So you want us to still be friends?
Friends. I'm thinking more of a teacher-student relationship.
You
A
did
teacher
call me
cannot
Padawan.
always be a friend.
Now you
Sometimes they must be a corrective layer.
Sure. You called me Padawan. That is a Jedi term. And you wish to wipe out the Jedi. What makes me think that you do not wish to wipe me out? That this is not some ploy to destroy me?
The Jedi. Let me put it this way. Even going back to the Sith and the Sith Empire, the rule of two was put into play. The Jedi adhered to that, did they not? From the tales that you have heard?
You lost me at Padawan.
Well, we have to get to that, yeah.
Rule of two. So there can only be two of
A
us.
Padawan means student. It just happens to be the term that the Jedi used. Do you wish to become a student? Do you wish to learn more about what you have hiding inside of you? And it's not the priest.
Very much so.
Then I have but a few simple asks. I would like to remove these current corrupt military leaders that we have. But if I do so, that leaves the current rebellion unchecked on this planet. That I can't have either.
I thought that you killed the rebellion at that party.
A few thousand people that were there to celebrate, the military moved in on. That's not the rebellion. The rebellion works every day to undermine what happens here on Coruscant. The matter of the week or two that you and your compadres have been here, we have seen massive uprisings across this planet, from the lower levels all the way to the higher levels. The military and the police force have been overrun on many, many occasions. All of these squabbling military leaders and intelligence leaders, they're all vying for power, but they're not working together.
And you want me to...
I can, as you said, I have influence over those military leaders as of right now. I can work to take care of that part of the equation. What I need from you, let's just say the rebels would never trust me because of my current position. So therefore, what I offer you is for you to go and work with them. Feed us information so that we can choose strategic times to react and when not to react.
Is it all?
And in return, I'll teach you what I know of the Force.
Is it very much? Because I think one of us is getting a higher end of this bargain.
He picks you up off the ground.
With his hands?
No.
This is nice. I could use a break.
And he proceeds to drop you now. So then, young Aaron, as you can see, I am blind. The Force has given me the ability to see. There are many things that it can do. There are many teachings. There are many abilities that it does unlock.
And you know these?
I know my share. But the Emperor did have information that the rest of us did not have. I'm sure he has things somewhere hidden that we can learn from.
What do you mean?
There are many abilities. I know a few. He wasn't going to teach me everything that he knew.
The Emperor knows the Force? He was terrified of the Force.
No. The Emperor used the Force to manipulate people. And he did it very well. As a former politician.
Well, you're not doing so bad yourself.
Alright, I would like for you to roll me a discipline check. 4 reds. That is a joke.
Oh, no, I don't need to roll this?
No, that is a joke. would you be?
Right?
5 despairs later. Oh, crap.
You are blind now too. Now, do you wish to learn the Force?
You trip over your left foot, fall over the banister, and fall 400 feet to your death.
Except you don't die.
I just said I wanted to go to the bathroom. No.
You did on the way down.
Would this be something that interests you? The quest for knowledge.
So I learn the Force, and I have to give you information about the rebels.
Absolutely.
That's it.
That is it.
And
I will work to seat a new council to oversee Coruscant, and then eventually bring that back out to the rest of the known Empire.
so you will make a secret council, and then reveal
It will not be secret.
Okay.
It will be constituted of those, the leaders of the different groups of races and different areas of Coruscant today.
What
By
could go wrong?
golly, if there was only something like that in the galaxy before this.
We won't call it the Senate. Each one will be a regional governor. No. We'll call them Moffs. What could go wrong?
Mr. Teacher Master, Reverend Tremaine. I will agree to this, but why the secrecy? Why not allow us to walk out the front door and simply say you found us innocent after interrogation, and then we still bring you information, and perhaps if we walk out unscathed and with no problem, I can get my new friends to join me in bringing you this intelligence.
The perception. Simply the perception.
I see, so we have
Because
to make it
if-
look like you punched us.
If you look like you escape, and if you escape, why would the rebels not trust someone fleeing from an Imperial prison?
And if we escape, why would the Imperials not immediately arrest us on sight?
Oh, there's not going to be enough force to cause you problems. I can see to that.
So you're telling, just so that I'm clear, all of our names will be erased from the prison once we've escaped.
No.
So we will still be escaped prisoners and still be wanted.
You'll be wanted by the Empire, but the Empire will no longer exist when we're done.
How long will that take? Is this going to be in the next couple of days? That's kind of the plan right now.
10, 15 minutes? Should I set my watch?
Because we don't have years. So we can't just sit underground. I cannot bring you information if we're sitting underground.
It will take as long as it takes. However,
That is the most old person response I've ever heard.
patience.
Patience has.
We will make sure that there are opportunities for you to work the way that it needs to feed information. Now, do I expect you to come strolling up to the front gates and say, I would like to speak to Antinous?
Well, I don't imagine that's how it would work anyway, but I get your point. Okay.
And if
I'll
you
do it.
recall, I can clearly read what your thoughts are.
Yes, I know. I'm uncomfortable with that part.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my gosh.
No, can't make any jokes right now.
And that is how you see the... No. Okay, we won't go there. We'll stop. My brain's gone. All right.
I
Would
will
you
make
like
an
to
attempt.
know how we would communicate?
Sure.
String in 2 cups.
I imagine you just kind of think toward me and you can see. I mean, if you can hear our entire plan, You wouldn't ever need me to come back, so how do I even know that you would train me? That you wouldn't
Sometimes.
just release me? Why is any of this necessary? This doesn't make sense. Why would you not just kill me? Kill all of us?
Moves and counter moves, young Aaron.
You think that...
Something you will understand as you grow. You can't just clearly wipe out an enemy or wipe out a foe. You must come across as merciful as well. And only in doing so will people begin to trust you.
Yes, but you probing me doesn't really begin to spawn that.
The thing is, if you are willing to accept this path, then what I have for you is a first lesson. And that lesson will open not only your mind to me, but my mind to you.
Now, this is something I can hop on. Hey. You people are
Like
all
a bad scooter.
That's
you
what she
people
said.
Are all gross. This is that would be acceptable.
First, we must teach you a very basic form of clearing your mind. A meditation.
Okay.
And he pulls something out of his coat pocket.
Whoa, whoa. Is he gonna tell me what it is?
Well, you just reacted with a whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here?
It's a kitten. Oh, no, not a kitten. Oh, my, let's keep that thing away from me.
And he holds it up.
Pockets here.
And he holds it up, puts it in both of his hands. And it looks like a visor. It looks like glasses of some sort. When I was a younger man, and I first lost my sight, these were cybernetic eyes for me. It was back when, out in the field, they didn't have the necessary materials to be able to handle what had happened. But one of the skills that I have learned that I would gladly pass on to you as you acquire the ability to do so is I've been able to impart part of the living force in this. And as you meditate, this will open your mind to me and mine to you. You just simply have to focus on me. And as you do so, time will come almost to cease, and you and I can speak without even having words. And in this dreamscape is where I will teach you.
Interesting.
And he's holding this in his hand. I ask you again, is this what you want?
I think you know my answer.
Of course he does.
And I think you know
As he's lowering his
that
hand
this
towards
is,
you.
and I grab it and I say, I think you know how badly I want out of this place. Now, before I let him kind of let go of it, like I'm not going to hold it just yet, about my mother.
What about her?
Will she be released as well? Or at least imprisoned comfortably?
I'll tell you this. Put the visor on. Sit and think of me. And at this moment, you will see if you get your answer.
Okay, I do it.
Alright, so I'm going to unlock a custom skill for you called meditation. So please mark that down on your sheet. It is a career skill. Meditation is how you will interact with this device.
There he ranks.
No.
Nuts.
And it will be based upon your cunning. I believe that is your primary, correct?
No, presence is my primary.
presence.
You've been trying to make cunning my primary this whole game.
Well, it's because usually you like to be a little sneaky turd. Anyway.
He'll do that whether he's got cunning or not.
That is absolutely true.
Right.
And then he'll try to talk you into how that sneaky thing should actually be presence instead of cunning. You know?
Pretty much when the shoe fits, right?
Right.
Listen, isn't every charm really a lie?
No. Sometimes you mean it.
Sometimes.
That's right. You really are handsome.
Oh, damn. All right.
Well,
game over. Shots fired.
Sorry to spoil this for everybody, but it sounds like Diphthong just died.
Ooh. Return fire. Return fire.
Yes.
All right. So what I would like you to do
let's
is,
see what that druid's going to
Which
turn
probably
into
means
next,
that-
I would like for you to make me an easy check using meditation, please.
I didn't get it.
You failed.
Yeah, everything canceled out. Total wash.
Total wash.
Unless I had a boost die for some reason.
No, you didn't have a boost die for any reason.
I
We'd
see.
give you a booster
Okay.
seat if that would help you.
None. Yep. Sure.
Young Aaron, you don't seem to be very invested in this.
Wait, let me try again. I wasn't sure. I didn't turn it on.
You must sit and clear
That's
your
what I was
mind.
still standing. You couldn't see me, so it makes sense that you didn't know that.
I hope you fail again. I just want to see this.
He will lay his hand on your shoulder at this point in time. Yes.
I did it. Wait. Yep, I did it.
How well did you do it?
I got 1 success and 1 advantage.
One eye starts flashing.
If I didn't have that boost, I still wouldn't have passed.
This would have been funny.
Wow, I can't make it much easier than easy.
These purple guys, man, this 2 failure box.
Okay.
It's a killer.
Anyway, so what ends up happening is that almost similar to your dreamscapes, it's almost becomes that cloudy smoke that's circling around you, and it's like you're darting around this room. But the room fades out, and standing in front of you is Antinous. But this time, he is fully robed. There's almost like a
How rogue
light
has he
up
been
present.
leading up till now?
Well, he's just had regular clothes, a military uniform on.
You made it sound like he had been disrobed.
He's a jangling.
There's a hot tub. Do you like gladiator movies?
Wow. We ain't making it through the first session tonight.
Jimmy, have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Airplane reference for all you young guys.
See the movie.
Okay. He's fully robed. What else?
Oh. Oh. Beautiful.
They're all broken. They're all broken.
Jimmy, put on these glasses.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah.
All right. You fall down a dark hole. No.
Oh man.
So no, standing before you, he is robed, and his cloak, his hood is coming over his head, and he pierces up, and you can at this point physically see into his eyes. Before he had a strap that would cover his face, and you can tell that he's much younger at this point. And he looks at you and says, "Very good. I knew you could do this with a little extra prompting. This is where we will talk and where we will communicate. Because right now, I would like to show you something. Please, turn around.
I do.
And as you turn around, you kind of stand there and you look back and you see yourself behind you, sitting on the floor, holding onto the visor like this. And you see Antinous in his uniform with his hand on your shoulder. To the rest of the world and the galaxy, this is what you will appear to be doing. Sitting there in silent reflection. You will not hear what is taking place until we are done with our communication. This can take as long or short as needed. If you have a report to make to me, you simply concentrate on this and meditate in this way, and you'll be able to communicate with me. And vice versa, we will begin with your training. And in this world, you'll find that your hands are no longer bound, and you will be open to what the Force has to say. To simply go back to what real life is, you just simply need to say, I must go. And the moment he says it, the whole vision stops. And you're pulled back into the room with him standing on your shoulder. With his hand on your shoulder. Tongue-tied. Tongue-tied tonight.
Things have changed.
And you're being wheeled out in a wheelbarrow.
He looks like a parrot. And on that screwed up note, we're going to end the scene there. All right.